Hey there. Basically, well, one of the things I get told a lot when people come to my house is like, you have a lot of movies. You must watch just about everything here. Well, the honest truth is, there's actually a few movies that I've got in my collection, and I'm sure that anybody here will attest to the same thing, that I collect films that I haven't quite gotten around to yet. Either I've seen them before, I saw them recently in the theater, or there's something that I wanted from my childhood and I watched the feature, never actually got back to the film. But another big reason for that is because there are certain movies that I tend to watch over and over again. So this video is about, well, it's part one anyway, and some of the movies that probably steal my time away from watching some of the ones that I haven't gotten a chance to watch to, or that half season of Matlock that I just haven't gotten around to watching, or something like that. But here's a part one on the list of movies that steal my time away from other movies that I have yet to watch. Planet of the Apes, the Blu-ray. I love the Planet of the Apes movie, but it's not what steals my time away, it's the documentary. The documentary on this disc is incredible. Behind the Planet of the Apes documentary is amazing, and I don't know how many times I've actually watched this. I've watched this probably more times than I watched the original Apes film itself, or all five of them put together. But I really love documentaries, so you're going to see a few of these on my list. But Planet of the Apes is a movie that I do watch. I do watch it a bit, and this one and the third one especially. But the documentary on Planet of the Apes is one of my favorites to watch. My next one is hands down one of my favorite documentaries that I just happened to find, and I don't know how many times I watched this thing. Not Quite Hollywood. Basically, this is about Ozploitation, and it got me into getting some movies that I kind of forgotten about. Escape 2000 was got because I had seen this, and I saw the whole aspect in the movie. But this is an incredible documentary. If you haven't seen this, this is all on the exploitation done in Australia. You got guys like Tarantino talking about this. There's some really incredible stuff. There's actually a director's commentary. I haven't actually sat down and watched it. I've watched this movie like over a dozen times, and I haven't sat down once to watch the director's commentary, which would probably be a good idea. But this is a fun movie. It's 103 minutes, but there's not a boring minute in it. I love exploitation films. The fact of getting to really see the Australian, just their side of the exploitation films alone, with movies like Patrick, Mad Max, Escape 2000, otherwise known as Turkey Shoot, was just too tempting for me not to watch. And once I watched it once, I probably watched this first on either on TV or on Netflix. And once I did, and I found it, it was one of those things that you can't take back. You watch over and over and over again. It's a really great documentary. Apparently it won some awards, and it serves it. If you have not seen this and you're a movie fan, shame on you. Not Quite Hollywood is an amazing documentary. Even if you don't really like documentaries, this one is fun. If you like movies, you gotta watch this. If you like exploitation films, you gotta watch this. If you like the old exploitation stuff, especially if you know what the movie Patrick is, even slightly, you gotta watch this. And that's my favorite horror movie of all time. Black Christmas. This one gets taken out every Christmas, but I find recently I rewatched a lot of it anyway. I managed to catch the documentary that they put on Come Behind the Screen. So it's a series that they put on Space Network, and they talked about Black Christmas. It was really good. There's a neat documentary on this here as well that I've watched a few times. Like I said, I'm a big documentary fan when it comes to like behind the scenes of films and stuff like that. Black Christmas is a great film. This movie was done in 1974, I think, and 74. And we have the first of this style. We get around, at least in North America, with the POV shot. The killer's in the house. They're getting phone calls from the killer, and the killer's inside the house. Yeah, you've heard that before, but you've heard it here first. this movie starred Olivia Hussey, Keir Dullea, Margot Kidder, Andrea Martin, John Saxon. It had I can't remember his name, but the guy from Down the Road. Can't remember. Doug. Anyway, Doug McGrath. It's got to be Doug McGrath. Yeah, a Canadian actor, Doug McGrath, that I know pretty well, these films. But Black Christmas is just, it's creepy. It doesn't dwell too much into the gore aspect of it, but suspense is high in this film. Characterization is really good, something that would be lacking. And one of the major flaws in horror films, especially the later slasher films, is that people just thought you could go out, you could put a mask on, you could kill some random teenagers, shove a little bit of nudity, and that'll be it. No, it doesn't work that way. You can do it. It's fun for about 10 or 15 minutes, but when there's 50 or 60 movies down the shelf and they all look alike, and the acting gets worse and worse with each one, no. You've got to have some writing clout behind it. Black Christmas is a well-written film. The characterization is incredible. Margot Kidder's character makes the film. Olivia Hussey is just extremely beautiful, and it's dark. It's Black Christmas, but it's a dark film. And the scene, well, Margot Kidder's murder sequence is haunting. If you haven't seen Black Christmas, just go out, get it. Don't even rent it, buy the damn thing. And not Black Xmas. That's just when you get for cheese. That's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible movie. But Black Christmas is an amazing film by Bob Clark. I'm a huge fan of Bob Clark's. The next one is kind of obvious if you watched any of my stuff. Friday the 13th. All of them. Because it's one of those things where I keep coming back to it. I watch Friday the 13th films, and I did watch them, especially when I was younger, over and over and over. Part 4, 5, and 6 especially, for some reason when I was younger. Part 3, I enjoy. Part 2 is my favorite when I was younger, and it's still one of the stronger ones. I actually enjoyed Part 5. I think Part 5 is much maligned. Is it a great movie? No, but it's by the dude that did Savage Streets. And had fun with it. Part 6, of course, is the more palatable one for the mainstream audience. Kind of like, Part 6 is kind of like the, what do you call it? Like the Dream Warriors. It's well done enough that, and it's homogenized enough that they're an audience that may not watch these films all the time will kind of give it props. But the earlier stuff, Part 2, Part 3 seem more raw to me. Part 4 was incredible. Do like the later ones because Kane Hodder worked hard as Jason, and although I'm not a fan of Part 8, I have watched it over a few times just because. Back to the documentaries. Film noir, bringing lightness to darkness to light. This is on one of my film noir box sets, and I bought the box set at the time to get this 6 to 8 minute documentary. Not only does it have a documentary, but it's got a series of Crime Doesn't Pay shorts that would be at the beginning of some films back that day. And there's some really cool ones here. But this here basically charts film noir from its beginnings to to its heyday, and it kind of gets into what exactly film noir is, and would a film today would it be considered film noir? Can we consider some of the Christopher Nolan stuff film noir? Nolan is a huge fan of the genre. Is Batman film noir? Batman Begins, anyway. Maybe, but this is a great documentary, and it's worth it for the set alone. But I am a film noir fan, so my next film was an easy choice for me. The Narrow Margin. There's a lot of good film noir films out there, but for me, there's something about The Narrow Margin that I just really, really enjoy. Richard Fleischer directed this film and did an incredible job. By the way, there is a commentary with William Friedkin on this movie. It's one of his favorites as well. And I'll be honest, I watched this movie with it. from beginning to end, and I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I mean, in a row. And then I said, I noticed the commentary thing on the back, so I decided to go again and watch the watch with commentary. And the commentary was incredible. It had basically, it had Friedkin talking, and there's audio interview excerpts from the director, Richard Fleischer, when he was one of my favorites. It's a great film. Basically, it takes some surprise twists at the beginning. It's a cop, a good cop, and he's guarding basically a gangster's girlfriend, gangster's mom, and she's going to testify against the gangster, and he has to get her there but there's some cool twists. It's a great movie. Neil Margin, seriously, it's on the Film Noir box set. You should pick it up. It's really, 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 really good, and it's my favorite train movie. The next one is full of cheese. Slumber Party Massacre Collection. I, for some reason, love these films. I saw that the first one was supposed to be a parody of satire, which didn't quite come out, I don't think, the way she wanted to originally. But it's a good film, and but I like the second one. It's horrible. I mean, you've got a dream like driller killer with a guitar drill. See? He's got a guitar drill. And he sings as he kills. Like Elvis, he sings and dances. And there's some surreal moments. And I just really had fun with it. There's a great documentary on this as well, by the way, of course. It's got to be a great documentary on these things. Shout Factory puts out, and Shout puts out some amazing stuff. I watched the Kentucky Fried Movie last night, my blue, and the hour-long talk with the Zucker brothers. Incredible. Go get Kentucky Fried Movie. But this, I keep watching over and over and over again. Of all the stuff I got, of all the Cormans I got, this tends to come up and up again. It's another set that I have that I watch a lot because I'm a big fan of the films. And that's the Charlie Chan Collection, Volume 5. I think this is. Yep. Why Volume 5? I don't know. I just like some of the ones on here. I've got Volume 4 and 5. I don't have 1, 2, and 3. I like my favorite Charlie Chan is probably it's probably him. It's probably, well, I like Warner Owen too, but Sidney Tolier was my Charlie Chan. He's the one that I remember most. I want to eventually have them all. I have all the Sidney Tolier, like 20th Century Fox, on the 2 box sets, the big ones that he did. I don't have the cheaper ones, but I like getting. That's the first video in movies that draw me back in over and over again. And I'm not sure if any of those are ones that you would particularly be drawn into, but for me, I like those type of movies, like cheesy stuff, like film noir. I like exploitation films and documentaries, and those things draw me back in over and over again. I don't know how many times I watched my Friday the 13th set, or how many copies of Friday the 13th I've had. I don't know how many times I watched Narrow Margin. I actually can't count that. The film noir documentary is incredible. TCM has some great stuff and stuff like that. The Slumber Party Massacre Collection. If you're a cheesy horror movie fan doll, you just gotta have it in your collection. These are some great stuff. For me right now, it's time for tea, and for you, hopefully it's time to give one of those movies, if you haven't saw a shot, because you know what, they deserve it.